Well, must be in the right place. Beaver Lake boat ramp. Coming in for a couple nights soak up here. And then we're gonna get socked in with about a week straight of rain. About a cold front and a bad storm moved through last night. But this is the north end of my line and Beaver Lake. I'm loaded for bear. Hopefully we'll make some catches. I'll see you down at the boat ramp. Oh, I'm coming in here loaded for bear. We do have about a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and right now I'm in a little cove. Hopefully it won't affect the volume of the sound too much today, but I'm gonna sit heavy for beaver. I got a bunch of traps in that bin, 330s and stands back behind there. Big water trapping today, 20-mile-an-hour wind. But we'll see what we can get into. Coming up on a castor mound area that I hit every year. They're always here. Just a couple fresh mounds, that one and this one. This is a big one. I've already taken my boat paddle and scooped me out of bed. Use this for fencing. I'm gonna fence up some more right here a little bit. But I'm gonna bed a trap right in here. And we'll catch this one. I mean, it rained last night, nothing moved. We got 2 days of cold weather moving in. Stuff's gonna move. They're gonna have to get out. You can see where he's going up right here to access his mound and do his little thing. Whew. But I'll get this set put in. We'll take a better look at it when I'm done. I'm doing several things today. I've come up with a little bit different formulation for my castor lure. I had dried casters and I ground them. They still have about the same amount of smell, but it takes way more liquid ingredients to get it back to a usable form, but than I did with green. I had I believe, if I'm trying not to screw his name up, an E.H. Gardner, Emmons Gardner, or Gardner, asked me how I used the stakes and how I anchor it to the stakes. What I have is a double ferrule and a single stop. And that allows me to put the anchor rod just like this, slide that loop over the anchor rod, and when I cinch up on it, it'll tighten up on the rod. Give me just a second. Like that. Once it tightens up on that rod, it's very secure, because then you got that cable that won't slide on that metal rod. When you beat that down into the bottom, I beat it firm enough that it's pretty hard to pull out. But you got to remember, the beaver's not pulling up high where you are. They're pulling down even at the bottom where it's stuck into the mud. But that's just a double ferrule and a single stop. That allows me to slide that up and anchor fairly secure. I mean, even if they pull the stake, the stake will remain on the cable as a drag. I have got my TS-85 bedded. Try not to catch myself. Bedded right here in front of that mound with the swamp lure type 2 put in right here. I'm going to see how it works. Then I'll get the set anchored up out in deep water and keep moving. This should be a catch. We'll find out in the morning. I have 2 mounds, one right here and one right there. Due to their distance from the water, it tells me they were made during higher water. The beaver wants to set them as close to the water's edge as they can. So I'm not going to pass these up and not set this, because it was set there. You know, they were made during higher water. Like that one I just set, is about what I'm looking for. They want to be close to the water's edge with their mounds. This was a higher water built by the beaver, and I'll keep moving, but there's no super fresh sign up on it. But I did set the one about 50 yards up from me that does have active sign on it. I will keep moving. I'm gonna get set number 2 in. They got a good fresh ball of mud and goop and everything they pushed up here. I'm gonna change things up just a little bit. I'm gonna flatten it like another beaver come in here and got ticked. Right here is gonna be the trap bed. I've just scooped it out with the paddle to make me room for a trap bed. I'll put my lure up on this mound. See, I've already got the anchor driven. I'll get this set finished and keep moving down. But right above me is a road crossing with culverts running under the road. So every beaver coming through those culverts is going to come down these banks, and he's going to encounter that. I'll lure it up, get the trap set, anchored up, and keep moving down. But this is set number 2. What I have found for set number 3 is an older crossover going into a pond that's over that levee. See, it's got a lot of leaves on it, but we had a storm last night. I don't know how many of those are fresh blown in or what. Don't matter to me. I want to take it and set a Duke number 4 up in here. Put a little of this castor lure on these roots, and any beaver swimming up through here get a smell of that and think beavers done, strange beavers done come up in this crossover. But putting in a Duke number 4, potentially an otter or beaver set, because I know that crossover right there goes over into that old pond. But I'll get that one set, get a little lure smeared up here on these roots, and keep moving. Here's these big culverts that run into somebody else's land that I'm not familiar with or not had permission to trap over there. But everything comes through these huge culverts, comes up into this bay. So should do some good over here. These are the culverts that come in and out of this bay that I'm sitting in. I'll keep moving. Once I go through underneath this bridge, I'll be on private ground, and this guy wants the beavers gone. But it's like Candyland. You're on private ground to trap on. I'll get underneath the bridge, get out in that huge bay, and we'll see what kind of sets we can get in today. See over there. Here I got this little stick lodge that every year I catch a beaver and some nutria off of. You know, both species use it. Right through here, I got a pretty good sized castor mound that I can see. And everything living back through the swamp is around this little lodge. There's a castor mound over there on the island. See, it's not much of a stick lodge, but nutria and beaver both use it. So I'm putting in a set right here. Gonna make me a mound. Hopefully catch something here tonight. Get that set in and we'll take a look at it what I'm doing. I've just smeared me some of my beaver lure right there. I do have a TS85 bedded right here in front of it. I mean, I pulled up some beaver sticks that they've cut and using that as fencing, using this as fencing to give them this area right here to come in here and investigate. I'm gonna go over here and see about putting in a 330 if I can find the entrance. But I'll go around here and find out after I get this anchor set out in deeper water. I'm all up to in these sticks. We'll see in a minute. I've come in and got up on top of this mound. I'm waist deep in the mud, but I put castor lure right here. Everything's gonna come in here back and forth trying to figure out what's going on with this strange castor. And I have bedded a 330 right here on some new little stands I bought. Kind of shoved grass in and around it, trying to hide it a little. But that should work. That's the only little ditch they got where they're traveling around the edge of the lodge. Whew, I have to get up on the lodge, get back in the canoe, and take off again. That's it. Should hit. I say caster on the mound. Everything's gonna be traveling through this ditch. Keep moving. This is what I'm liking to find. All up in this sea of grass. You follow these little ditches and they'll lead to these fresh caster mounds. I've just got the lure smeared up here. A little smeared right here. Already got the anchor in, and I'm gonna bed the trap right here where I've already dug out a bed. Get it anchored and keep moving. I gotta keep moving. I got a late start today, but I'm gonna set as much as I can before it gets dark. Only got about 2 nights soaked in here before we get socked in for a week's rain. I'll get move on. This beaver's giving me the perfect opportunity to sneak in a 330. He's got a beaver ditch right here. Go into this huge caster mound. Fresh blobs of grass, mud pulled up on top. I'm gonna get out, get a 330 put in right here in this beaver ditch. Fence it off, put some fresh caster up on this mound. Should make a catch here tonight, but we'll see. Let me get this done. I gotta hurry up and keep moving. Who needs a gym if you got beaver trapping? Well, I've smeared caster lure up here on their mound, and I put a 330 right here in one of the new stands I bought. But I think they're gonna be fun to find after a catch. I draped grass across the top of it, made a little tunnel to duck in. Hopefully it'll be a catch here tomorrow. I'm gonna keep moving. You find a caster mound like that, that's a no-brainer. I just bedded a trap right here. Smeared a little caster on the face, watered it in. Got my anchor in, trap bedded. I'm gonna run out in deeper water and put in the pipe or the tube that it's cinched down on the tube with that double ferrule and a single stop. I'll get out there as deep as I can get it and beat it in the ground. But you gotta set caster mounds like that. I gotta get a move on. When I found this mound, I put in my own little mound just beside it, castered it up. Got the anchor cable and trap bedded. I'm gonna pull out here in the deep water and anchor it up. But I gotta get a move on. Time's running short. Well, I did not get in as many sets as I had hoped to. But I put in some really quality sets. There should be some catches in the morning. It's just a big old bay of private ground back in here to come play on. I'll head back to the boat ramp. I'm gonna carry some more sets with me in the morning when I come in and check. But I'm only wanting to set super active sign for these 2 days that I've got to hit it before I've got to pull out because of the week-long thunderstorms. But I'm headed to the boat ramp. Somebody's been up in here jugging. I don't know who. Somebody's got something good on there. I was up in this bay and the noodle come in through ball by itself. Something big got to be dragging that around. I've seen it pull it plumb under 3 or 4 times. Not mine. It's cool to see. We'll follow it a minute. That thing has gone completely under several times. Somebody's got something good on it. I hope they find it. I'm headed to the boat ramp. Well, back at the boat ramp, I would just like to say thank you to all those that follow along. And even thank you to the one fool who watches every video and no matter what gives me the thumb down. One person. I blocked them from making comments, but they still want to thumb down every video. Hey, thanks for the view. Makes about as much sense as complaining about being wet in a swimming pool. You know what you get into when you click on it. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.